Ew. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sundays with the
Restart.
Sprinkles.
Restart.
Wait, you didn't like that?
We're
You didn't
not
like
doing
that?
that.
I like that. I've been waiting on that. I've been waiting to do that for fucking all day.
We're not doing that.
I'm not restarting. Welcome to another episode of Sundays with the Sprinkles. I'm your host, Brett Sprinkle. Beside me is Hater of the Year, Tyler Sprinkle. Joining us as always is Brandon Shanahan. Hello, guys. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Can't complain.
Good. Yeah. Got some runs in my belly. I feel good.
Yeah, I'm really jealous about that. Like I said, I just ordered food. I told you I got a salad. I lied. I got a burger and wings. Yeah, it's getting real tubby. I just kind of decided, I'm just gonna. I don't care about what I look like anymore. I'm just gonna get fat again. So it's gonna be great.
Welcome to America.
Fun weekend of football behind us. Another fun weekend of football ahead of us. Anything stick out to you right away before we get into the games?
They're all kind of blowouts, which kind of sucks. But the few good games that we had were really fun to watch.
But
yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You.
We're gonna get into the games a little deeper, so I'll just save it.
I mean, to your point about them being blowouts, at least they were like the blowouts were kind of surprising. I mean, Bills Steelers, like we knew that was going to happen, but Buccaneers blowing out the Eagles, I didn't see that coming. I knew they were going to beat them. It's probably the one prediction I got right, but I did not see that coming. Texans also blowing out the Browns. I didn't see that one coming either. So, I mean, we can get right into it. Let's just start with the first game of this past weekend: Texans 45, Browns 14. So notes I had: CJ Stroud, awesome. DeMeco Ryans is a really, really good head coach, and maybe the Browns shouldn't have sat Joe Flacco last week. He got a little rusty, got old.
Yep, I was right in two aspects of that game. One, when you're old, you sit down, you don't get back up.
100%.
Two, I called that the Browns were going to win this game. I didn't see it going that exact way, but I knew that team was going to be ready to go.
I mean, back-to-back pick sixes is tough to overcome, and that Texans defense was just flying around. You could tell they had a different scheme. They were ready to go. CJ Stroud, like I mentioned at the top, he was awesome. And I had this claim this weekend, and I will say with the research I did, I'm not 100% correct. However, he has been a very, very good quarterback this year. His rookie season has been electric. I wanted to make the claim that he has been the most consistent. Like, he has been the best quarterback in the league this year. Like, in my eyes, Lamar is the MVP. But as far as like quarterback play, using the eye test, I felt like he's been really, really, really good. Now, looking at some of the advanced analytics, looking at some of the other statistics, he hasn't been like QBR doesn't like him, which I don't know. QBR is kind of made up. I feel like people just put whatever number they want. His interception rate's been incredibly low, only 5 interceptions this entire season. But he's been inconsistent on some downs, first down and second down specifically. He's been bailed out by the big deep ball a couple times. So that goes against him, I guess, when you're talking about his whole season. But regardless, he's been a very, very good quarterback.
Yeah, and he always looks confident. The only thing about him is they say that he's bad against the blitz. He seemed to do pretty well against the Browns. So maybe that's just kind of CJ Stroud of old. He's starting to learn. He's adapting.
Think the Browns overlooked the Texans a little bit, or
no? I just don't think that they were that good. And as we said, Laramie Tunsil, looking at the tape, Garrett Bowles, shout out, shut down the fraud that is. I don't even remember his name. Jeez.
He's also a Garrett, a Myles Garrett.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's how insignificant he is. I forgot his name. So
yeah, I mean, Garrett Bowles won the Garrett off. He broke Myles Garrett, and I think at this point you have to give Garrett Bowles Defensive Player of the Year. He has to give him that trophy.
I mean, even if he wins it.
Yeah, true. I wouldn't give it to him. Who would get it? Defensive Player of the Year. I really think it's going to be Myles Garrett, but who else would get it? I'm trying to think.
Nothing really stands out to me. I don't know.
Maybe Roquan Smith, but I don't know. I don't know. Oh, well. Yeah, CJ Stroud was great. Myles Garrett, disappeared completely. Joe Flacco shouldn't have sat. DeMeco Ryans, very, very good head coach. Do you think that coaching staff's going to get blown up a little bit, though, at the end of the season? That's kind of a bummer. Who's their offensive coordinator? He's going to be a head coaching candidate, I'm assuming.
I think it'll be worse next year if they'll probably lose a few guys this year. But I think it'll be worse next year if they're good again. Then I think that's when you see people start pulling at the strings.
Well, another year under his belt, I could see CJ Stroud being a MVP favorite going into the next season, or at least top 5, top 10.
Yeah, I mean, at the early part of this year, he was kind of the odds-on favorite, at least like stats-wise.
Till the Jets game, then he got that concussion, missed a couple games, I think. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So you said that CJ Stroud isn't very good against the blitz. The Ravens have a really good defense coming up. They're obviously scheming up things right now. I will say one knock against CJ Stroud, and obviously we'll get a little deeper into the games later. Only one game-winning drive or fourth quarter comeback win. So that means they've pretty much been ahead every time they've won. Only 2 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter for him this season. So not too much adversity for him this season. And, I mean, the playoffs are nothing but adversity. They're going into Baltimore, hostile environment. I'm interested to see how that plays out.
Yeah, but you're forgetting about the one that he did have was absolutely crazy.
That one... Are you talking about the Broncos game?
No. It was the one that they lost their kicker. What game was that? That was against the Bucks.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember I had them -3, and they only ended up winning by 2, I think, because they
39-37.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, yeah, you're right. That was crazy, but I mean, still just the one.
That was sick.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm not discounting it. It was sick,
but I don't think that should be a knock on any kind of quarterback.
No, I'm not saying it's a knock, like trying to diminish his season or his, how valuable he's been. I'm just saying that's just something that he hasn't had to deal with much so far. Obviously his very young career, and it is something that's probably going to come up this weekend. It's just the NFL playoffs. Things are going to be close. Things are going to be tight. So I hope he's able to battle through adversity. What if he just comes out, just nothing but game-winning drives the rest of the way and wins the Super Bowl? Why not?
There you go.
Did you see the stat that since 2002, the Houston Texans was when the Houston Texans were, incepted into the league, they have more playoff wins than the Dallas Cowboys?
I love that.
That's insane, also, dude.
The fact that the Packers have more wins in the playoffs than the Cowboys do at AT&T Stadium is also hilarious.
That is hilarious. Dude, the Cowboys are a fucking dumpster fire. Actually, I do want to. I don't know. Let's move on to the next game. Let's go in order. Any other thoughts about this game before we move on?
No, I don't. I mean, Joe Flacco, it's tough, but I mean, you figured it would happen.
It was a fun run
later. Yeah,
it was a fun run. I mean, when you're missing your best running back, your top quarterback, just all the guys that are missing, it's tough. It really is tough. Like, you have the most depth. Kevin Stefanski, I mean, he's still a good coach in my mind, but I mean, that was not a team that was ready to play. It looked like. I know when you shoot yourself in the foot for 2 pick sixes back to back, it's tough to come back from that. But they kind of just gave up after that. Felt deflated
because the first 2 drives of the game, the Texans went right down and scored, and then the Browns went right down and scored. Mm-hmm. So it looked like it was going to be kind of a battle. And then you get in the nitty gritty of the game, and then shortly thereafter, Joe Flacco throws those 2 pick sixes, and I think it just kind of deflated the team.
That Brevin Jordan run, the tight end for the Texans, I think it was their second touchdown of the game. I was waiting for him to get tackled pretty much the entire time. Even when he was in the end zone, I was waiting for him to get tackled. Nobody just tackled him. He just ran away from everybody. It was crazy. It was a really fun play to watch.
Love that from my boy.
All right, so that's the Texans and Browns. Moving on to the Saturday night game. Chiefs 26, Dolphins 7, the -30 game. What were your takeaways from that game?
Did not watch it, as I proclaimed last week.
That's right.
Just saw a helmet get broken, though. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, weird how he wasn't checked for a concussion, but they just gave him a new helmet. I feel like that's backwards a little bit.
Also, should have been a timeout or a penalty, but
Yeah,
Not
they
when
said
you're
they
dealing
stopped
with
the game
Chiefs.
just to get him a new helmet, and it was
Yep.
frozen. And I have to assume that if you put your helmet in the freezer, you get an advantage. Isn't that what they said about Tom Brady? Like, I don't know. Let's do an investigation. Let's find out.
There we go. Disband the franchise.
Yeah, like I just want to ask some questions, and because I ask these questions, I come into certain scrutinies, and I just don't believe that the Chiefs should be allowed to operate like this or anywhere in the world or league.
Yeah, everybody on their roster this year has to enter the draft next year. And the Chiefs don't get to pick until the 4th round.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that. And Patrick Mahomes can't come off till, say, maybe pick 12. Like, he has to be there for at least 11 picks, or else it's unfair.
No, I don't want him on the Broncos. He's ass.
I do. Well, yeah, but Sean Payton can turn him around. Sean Payton's a quarterback whisperer. You're forgetting. Look how good he did with Russ.
I can't wait to talk about Drew Lock this episode.
It's going to happen. It always happens. Yeah, so I mean, it was obviously fucking freezing. The Dolphins, one thing I forgot about, during our analysis and the lead up to the game, the Dolphins have to be feeling sorry for themselves, and you could tell they kind of were a little bit. To lose to the Titans like that in the final 2 minutes, you were up by 12, 2 minutes left, and you lose the game, and then you just don't beat the Bills when you had a shot, you lose the division, and then you're the very next week after you lose the division and get your heart broken, you're playing in negative 30-degree wind chill. I would hate that. I would have retired, honestly. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, and I think they said it was 80 degrees whenever they left Miami, so it's a 120-degree swing.
The disrespect.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it was fucking freezing here in Virginia, too. I was just, I've been popping in and out all day, and it's just been rough. It's very cold. But hey, we got snow finally. Haven't got snow in like 2 or 3 years, so it's good to have some snow on the ground.
Yeah, Nebraska got a little bit of snow.
Yeah, I heard you guys got a few inches.
Yeah, and it's been like negative 30 around here. So actually, today it was like 15 degrees, so that was good.
Nice, sunny, beautiful, beach weather.
Sunny for a little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. How much did you guys actually end up getting? I heard it was somewhere between 10 to 15.
I think it was a little over a foot, and we're supposed to get 3 more inches tomorrow, I think.
Okay, because we're getting some snow on Friday, so that tracks.
Brandon knows all about 3 inches.
Yo, Brandon, is that for real?
3.5, sorry.
I mean, some would say like 6 inches of snow is too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so how you deal with the 3 inches. You can still go sledding, have a snowball fight, but like it's not out of hand.
Yeah. Some say 3 inches is more fun.
Yeah, 3 inches is the optimal number.
Because you got to try a little harder.
Mm-hmm. There's a little bit more grit behind it.
Well, plus, like if you go like all the way deep into that 6 inches, it kind of hurts a little bit, especially right at first.
A lot.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't want anybody getting hurt, so I'm very happy. 3 inches is a good number.
Heck yeah.
Were you guys surprised to see that 40 people were treated for hypothermia symptoms at the stadium by Kansas City Fire and Rescue?
I love that.
Yeah,
because people were just ripping off their shirts. It was crazy.
Yeah,
have fun.
There's no shot that I would get it. In fact, I have negative sympathy. Not only do I not feel bad for them, I wish it would have been more people, and I wish it would have been more.
That's like the only time that I don't wish that America's healthcare was free.
Yeah.
That's like the only time.
Fair enough. You know what it did remind me of? Remember that game we went to in Denver where we were pretty unprepared for the weather? It was fucking freezing on that Monday night game, and that was only a fraction of how cold it was in Kansas City.
I was wearing jeans and a fucking North Face jacket.
Yeah, I bought a scarf and just wrapped my head in it.
Mm-hmm. I do remember
that was a good time,
I was talking to somebody about that the other day, actually.
It was a good time. Remember those fans in front of us? Oh, yeah, we were in Pittsburgh, and those fans curse a lot. Good thing, we're in Denver, where I'm sure our fans are a lot better. Oh, buddy.
Tough. Sat behind 2 of the more vulgar people probably in this state at the time. So,
yeah, that was tough for them. Tough look.
Did they leave early? I don't even remember.
No, they left early? No way, right? Because it was a pretty close game. We went to overtime.
I can't remember. I know that we've been to a couple of games where we made some people leave. So sometimes they just get kind of mixed together.
Good riddance. You remember that game we went to in Nats Park? I think Mike was in town where that old fuck behind me. He tried to get in my face, and then Curtis Granderson hit a home run right in his stupid fucking face, and then he just turned up and left. Yep. If he would have stayed for half inning, they would have, he would have been, the Jubilee, but he didn't. He's a quitter. Yeah. I'm not. Yep. Stick around.
Quitter.
I mean, I know it was freezing, but his arm strength looked kind of tough. Especially, I saw one throw in the fourth quarter. It was, I think they were on the left hash, and he was throwing it to the left boundary. And it took so long for that ball to get there. The defensive back was 10 yards away, and by the time the ball got to the receiver, the defensive back was on him. So I just know that it was not a good arm strength day for the two and on.
Well, did they have wind reporting on the field during that throw?
I don't think they did.
Yeah, so who knows? Maybe there was a gust.
True. You need to get on that. Brandon, can you go to Kansas City next week, see what the gusts are like? Maybe we can...
In that area?
Yeah, do some some JFK stuff, figure out where the wind was coming from, you know what I mean?
That was funny too on Twitter. One of the NFL Network guys tweeted disaster in Dallas, and people just started tweeting the screenshot of that.
JFK. Oh, that's funny. That actually reminds me of another funny thing I heard this weekend about the NFL concussion protocol. And they said, yeah, no, it's easy to get. They would have cleared JFK to get back into the parade if like the concussion doctors for the NFL.
Nice.
That's funny.
Yeah.
George Karlaftis, I did want to make a special shout out to him because he had a big game. The year before he came out of college, I was using him on Madden, because you get the rosters, the draft classes, and he was a beast. So I knew that's how I get all of my college prospect knowledge. So I knew he was going to be good. So when the Chiefs drafted him, I knew he was going to end up being a stud. And he kind of showed it. I mean, 10 sacks this season. He had 1.5 sacks this game, 3 QB hits. He was just kind of into his face pretty much the entire game, it felt like.
Yeah, didn't have a good season last year. But you take that jump second year.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the Chiefs were hoping from him, and they definitely got it on a rookie contract after paying Chris Jones. You need somebody to step up like that, and that's been their guy this year.
Heck yeah.
That's all I really have for this game. The Chiefs didn't look too impressive, but I mean, they're still good. They're still good at football. Patrick Mahomes was able to hit some wide receivers. Sky Moore looks like the window's opening up for him to come back, so we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that, but.
Yeah, but according to Brooke, he sucks. So,
Sky Moore?
Yeah.
Good. Keep him out then. Fuck it.
Yeah. What is that?
Oh, sorry. I'm playing with my. I'm just playing with something on my desk. My bad.
Got it.
Moving on. Packers 48, Cowboys 32. Was not expecting this outcome. I thought it might be close, but for the Packers to blow out the Cowboys in AT&T Stadium, every single shot looking at Jerry Jones was just a masterpiece because it was just so fucking funny.
Yeah, it was in between vulgar obscenities.
Mm-hmm.
So
naysayer this, naysayer that. Yeah. Hitting that piece of paper in his hand.
I mean, I called it last week. I said it was going to be close. Didn't know the Packers were going to actually win it, but we live in a better world after the Dallas Cowboys are out of the playoffs.
Oh, the jokes that have come from that loss are like, it's hilarious. And people, I just mentioned it, but people fucking hate Dak Prescott. They either hate Dak Prescott or they hate the Cowboys QB. I think it's Dak Prescott because the jokes that he's been getting fucking dumped on, and it's been so funny to see.
I just think it's low-hanging fruit because there are so many Cowboy, Yankee, Patriot, Lakers fans that are around. So I think with the amount of people that are fans of the Cowboys, it's easy to poke fun at those losers.
100%. And one thing I hate, and every Cowboys fan starting to do this now, is the whole break your TV thing, throw the flag in the bush. It's annoying because you're not really throwing anything away. Skip Bayless, throwing his shit away. He's going to grab it out of the trash.
The TVs are tough.
But no, that's where I'm putting on my fucking 10-foot. Those aren't the real TVs they're watching the game on. Like they're the backup TVs. They're breaking the TVs that they don't need. You know what I mean? They're doing it for fucking content. They're doing it for clout because they root for a shitty fucking team and can't root for anybody else. So they just break a TV that they were going to throw away anyway.
Interesting.
I mean, because seriously, how many of those 32-ounce TVs, get thrown, get broken. Like, you're really watching that game on a 32-ounce TV, you fucking loser. I keep saying ounce, I meant inch. I meant inch twice.
I was going to let you rock, and you said it again. We know what the difference is. Hold on. I'm glad you
big
caught
goal,
it.
32 ounces. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a loser franchise, loser city. Sorry, Brandon. But it's always fun to see them lose, see the Yankees lose, see the Lakers lose. Love it.
But, we were going to speculate on where Bill Belichick might go, but we heard right before we started recording, Mike McCarthy running it back. Hey, the boys are back in town. The busiest cat in Texas. Coming back for another ride.
Yeah. Who reported that? Let's see. Oh, now it's out on ESPN as well. Adam Schefter reported it. So I got the scoop 23 minutes ago. Someone was saying I'm an insider before ESPN released it. So.
And you'll hear this on Friday, but know that when you're listening to this, you heard it here first.
Correct.
Yeah. Anybody listening? It's kind of crazy. I don't know why Mike McCarthy's staying. I know they had a good regular season, but he got so outcoached by Matt LaFleur. Why would you want him to come back?
I just don't think Jerry Jones has enough energy to do this again.
Then why is he the GM? Like, he doesn't have to be the GM.
Yeah. Okay. Let me first say, I want Jerry Jones to live longer because it's funny and he's a great owner in the league. But when he does eventually pass, I hope they just hang his coffin from the ceiling of AT&T Stadium like a banner. Is that insensitive to say?
No, actually, I hope they stuff him and do the same thing, just without the coffin. Just have to just sit there like a fucking
dude, like Weekend at Bernie's. Just
everybody's hanging from the rafters. Yeah.
Just the pulley system, like
you have to pull his leg to retract the roof, type thing. You know what I mean? Make him useful.
Shit.
Yeah, because I'm sure he wants to be part of the team. Every aspect.
I love that.
Another thing going into this game that we knew was going to happen, but I didn't expect it to be this good. Aaron Jones, 3 TDs. That was an easy bet.
We were running our UTEP dynasty, and it was just fueling the video game. Whenever Aaron Jones scored, we scored on NCAA. It was great. It was fantastic.
The boys were buzzing.
Yeah, the boys were certainly buzzing.
And then my final really big takeaway from this game is Jordan Love is really good at the sport of football. He's really good at throwing it.
He's good at hitting wide open receivers. I don't know what else Stephon Gilmore was doing.
There was one point
lost out there.
3 drives in a row. Jordan Love hit the same pass to the same wide receiver in the same spot, wide open 3 times, 3 straight drives. It was crazy. It was Romeo Doubs just in the middle of the field. He rolled right, threw it right to him. Doubs just caught it, went for 5-10 yards, whatever he did, but that happened every single time. So I don't know. Dan Quinn with his backwards hat, I don't know what he's doing up there. Maybe turn it forward, focus on football instead of how cool you look.
He does look really cool, though.
He does look really, objectively, he does look really fucking cool. And I hope he takes that backwards hat to the Seahawks whenever he coaches them. I think it'd be hilarious.
He has a lot of ties. Makes sense.
It does make sense. See, you like that. I'm throwing out head coaching possibilities right here while we're talking.
Love that.
This season, it looked good for the Cowboys, but you can't call it a success, right? Like,
no,
absolutely not. Is Dak even going to win MVP? No, it's going to be Lamar's MVP. Is Dak going to win is Dak going to win an award even?
No.
He had a great season, but
no, he will not.
I need championships from them. Oh, Micah Parsons finally got a holding penalty too.
Yes, he did.
And then he completely disappeared. I didn't hear his name again after that hold, if I'm being honest. Did you?
No, I did not.
Yeah. So, womp womp.
Yep.
Oh, that's the Packers Cowboys. That's our analysis. Lions Rams. This was a fun game. This was a good game. I didn't watch it with the sound on, but Lions 24, Rams 23. I saw the Staffords get mad because they said their kids were booed, but then if you check the stat line, 0. So that's just a poor performance. No yards, no catches, no touchdowns. So you don't put up the numbers, you get booed.
Exactly. I did love right before the game. They had the stadium all dark and just the blue lights on the scoreboard. It looked awesome in there. Definitely a place you wanted to be because that place was electric. I watched after halftime. I was doing some work, so I wasn't watching. But every time I looked up, Puca Nacua was just doing something stupid. So,
dude, he's
surprised.
So good.
Yeah. Although Cooper Kupp, kind of a goose egg game, didn't really do too much, but Puca Nacua was there to.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed. I had him as an anytime touchdown guy, talking about Cooper Kupp. But yeah, this was Puca's game. The game was pretty much going all Lions up until that really big touchdown catch and run from Nacua. I can't remember the circumstances, but if you watch the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I think it went from 17-3 to 17-10, and the Rams just stayed in until the end. Really weird decision for Sean McVay to punt that away. Yeah. You're
I
on
get
the
it
plus
because
side of the field.
You have 3 timeouts still. You're betting.
No, he only had 1 timeout.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he only had 1 timeout, and then they had the 2-minute warning. But even then, you're like I mentioned, you're on the plus side of the field. It doesn't really make sense. Pinning them back doesn't make sense. You're still going to need to get those yards eventually.
That's true. Yeah, weird decision, but either way, you make that decision. I don't know. You go for it, you don't get it, you look like an idiot. You punt it, they get first downs, you look like an idiot. It's kind of a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, no, you're right. And they lost, unfortunately, but really happy for Jarred Goff. He put up a pretty decent stat line, 22 for 27, 277 in a tud. And Aiden Hutchinson really balled out of the defense. 2 sacks, 2 QB pressures. He was kind of in Stafford's face, just wreaking havoc the entire game. And I'm just really happy for Detroit. They get a win. They get to move on. They get another home playoff game next week thanks to the shitty Cowboys. It's a pretty cool time to be a Detroit, Michigan. Honestly, just be a Michigan fan. Just be a fan of Michigan sports.
Yeah, unfortunately, one of those teams is a bunch of cheaters, so kind of takes away from it a little bit. But
please tell me we're talking about the Wolverines.
Correct.
Okay. Well, you're wrong, but that's okay. Did you see? Speaking of Detroit sports, did you see the Pistons subreddit post today on Twitter?
Yeah, about
it's like, what if our worst player
or something?
No. It's like, what if okay, so hear me out. What if our worst player just try to break the other guy, like the other team's best player arm? Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? If you're really trying to take 3 seconds to break his arm, and then our worst player gets kicked out. And I love that thinking from a 4-32 franchise. You're just trying to think from 4-36.
I think at this point you just gotta hope you keep losing because it's kind of funny. If you're how many? I don't know anything about the NBA. How many games do they play?
82.
So say you win 20 games, it's not as funny. But if you only win 5 games, then it's hilarious.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep losing.
If you win 13 games, that's depressing. But yeah, if you win 1 game, then it's a calamity. It's hilarious. You're right.
Correct. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
And then it's historic. You'll never forget that.
That's true. I already forgot about the Warriors. See, I don't even know how many games they won.
Yeah. See?
But
nobody cares
I'll
about
always
that.
remember the 4-36 Detroit Pistons in 2023.
Always.
Especially if James Weissman just comes out and just starts breaking fucking people's kneekecaps.
Yeah.
It's so funny that
basketball.
It's so funny that post singled him out specifically. I don't know, Weissman probably. It's like, oh no, that's so sad.
Wasn't he a top pick or something?
Yeah. I was pretty high.
He's their worst player.
Yeah, right now. Basketball is weird to me. It doesn't really make any sense. But from what I understand, he is apparently their worst player. So
yeah. Anyways,
moving on. That's our basketball talk.
Yeah.
Bills 31, Steelers 17. Bills kind of just took care of business here. Josh Allen, incredible. That fake slide, the Hezzy Hay was pretty nice. Somebody said he hit him with the Yabba Dabba Doo.
Oh my god, I was fucking dying at that shit. Yeah, Josh Allen who hit him with the Yabba Dabba Doo. Oh my god. But people keep saying it's a fake slide. He's just juking.
Yeah, no, he just stopped. Yeah, he really did just a hesitation. He wasn't going down on his knee or anything. No, he just did a hesitation. He defensive back bit and he took off.
The Kenny Pickett play, that's a fake slide.
Mm-hmm.
What Josh Allen does is not a fake slide.
No, yeah. For reference, we're talking about Kenny Pickett in his final game as a Panther. Yeah, he had that 60-something 70-yard run. Halfway through it, he acted like he was going to slide. Defender stopped, and then he just kept on sprinting. It was a really cool play. Kind of fucked up considering the quarterback rules. Yeah,
now it's banned.
Kenny will be the last person to ever do it. Respect.
Much respect.
Von Miller looks kind of slow though, and it kind of makes me sad. I mean, you have to expect this at some point. I mean, he was inactive. He was a healthy scratch a couple games this season. Just does not look like himself, and I'm starting to see the beginning of the end for our boy Von.
I was talking about it. I'm just so happy that he got the bag. He deserves it.
That's true, and he's got 2 rings. He's a surefire Hall of Famer, 2 Super Bowl rings. I mean, I was hoping he'd finish his career with 200-plus sacks, but I don't know if he'll get there at this point. He asked me 2 years ago. There's no doubt in my mind, but I don't think he'll get there now. So
where's he at? Like 180 something?
Yeah, I want to say. I don't know for specifically.
Brandon, can we get a stat check on that if you're not too busy, big fella? I guess maybe Brett has it. I don't know.
I'm trying to pull it up right now. Von Miller, Pro Football Reference.
Yeah, I'm just happy that he just got the bag there, though. Got his Super Bowl in LA. Love it. Oh, wait.
My food's here. I'll be right back.
123.5 sacks? That's all he has?
Yeah, I was expecting more than that. He's not getting to 200. Unless that's an old
what the hell?
stat muse. Let's see here. So we're going to go sacks. Yeah, 123.5.
What the hell is Brett talking about?
Who knows?
That's crazy.
He had way more than that. Only 120? This dude's ass. Get him out of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I was just so confused. I thought he was closer.
You know what it is? I think the record's around 200, 180. Well, gotcha. I wanted him to get more sacks. That's all. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about half the time, but I just wanted him to get more sacks, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Your heart's in the right place, at least.
Yeah, has to be somewhere.
How do you feel about
Josh?
Record? Oh, yeah, 200 is the record.
200, yeah.
Man, look at all those names on there. That's crazy.
And Reggie White's crazy because they didn't even count like half of his sacks. They didn't start counting his sacks till like halfway through his career.
I do love that Von Miller's the only name that is all caps. So
hell yeah, let him know. You think Camden wrote this list?
Oh, I wonder. Oh, it's because it's all active players. Got it. That makes sense.
How do you feel about Josh Allen being compared to John Elway?
I mean, okay, I suppose he's white. He has a strong arm, and he wins.
Yeah.
So
check. Well, he wins, but it's ugly. And John Elway was kind of an ugly winner. If you go back and look at it,
it's fun. It's not ugly. It's fun.
There you go. Yeah, when you win, it's fun. When you lose, it's ugly. You're right. That's my bad. Honestly, hey, hand up. I'll push for that.
Ballers ball, and sometimes he balls too hard.
You're damn right. Dude, that's what I'm trying to get back to basketball talk. That's what I'm trying to get instilled into DJ and Davis when it comes to hooping in 2K. It's like, bro, sometimes you just got to take the shot. You'll get blocked, sure. But if you're a hooper, you're always open, you know?
Anyways, next game.
Buccaneers 32, Eagles 9.
The Trey Palmer game.
The Trey Palmer game, Himfield, as I've so lovingly started to call Baker Mayfield because he fucking had a great game. And honestly, I saw Brandon tweet this, and I couldn't agree more. Baker Mayfield is what is the Johnny Manziel that we promised.
Talk about that tweet. That tweet blew up, Brandon. How does it feel to be kind of famous right now?
Oh, man. I mean, I'm still getting notifications from it. Yeah.
Damn, you haven't turned off noties yet? Hey, I'm going to leave one thing here before I turn off notifications and mute this conversation. I see those tweets all the time.
I kept checking my DM requests, seeing if anybody was trying to get a sponsored tweet underneath it.
Ooh.
How about you just shout out the podcasts?
Thought about that.
You should.
Thought about OnlyFans or shouting out the podcasts?
both putting the podcast on OnlyFans and then tweeting it.
I like that.
One thing I did see, Brandon, is that you're followed by Theo Vaughn.
Yeah.
What's that about?
So this was, oh boy, how long ago was this? This was probably like his first Netflix special where I think there was a point where he was just following everybody back. It wasn't earned by any means, and it's been a long time.
Oh, so it was like Jose Bautista.
Yeah. It was like
he was like following everybody.
Yeah, he pretty much. I can't imagine he still does it. So I mean, I'll take it. I'm very happy about it. But I'm sure if we looked up how many people he's following, it's quite a bit.
Dude,
Brandon Shanahan, Theo Vaughn confirmed best friends.
Let's go.
Get him on the pod.
Get him on the pod. Tell him what's up. Hey, what up? What up, though?
Yeah, I'll shoot him a DM. Might as well.
There you go. Shoot your shot.
I mean, I guess so. He's got 1 million followers and it's following 22,000. That's a better ratio than I was expecting.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Hell yeah. See, he probably purchased the list a little bit. He's like, you know what? This Brandon Shanahan guy, he's always bitching about something that has to do with college football. I kind of like it. I'm leaving it on my timeline.
I saw this dude, man. He was on Twitter talking about Go Big Red Husker Nebraska. Like, what the hell?
You know, I could fuck with that. I could fuck with that.
There you go. That's my SEC, brother.
Wait, Brandon, what's your Twitter handle?
At Shanaman.
At Shanaman. Go follow him. Theo Vaughn follows him, so why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Shanaman.
Are you too good? You too good to follow Shanaman? Shanaman? Shanaman?
Mm-hmm.
Continuing on with the game, though. Eagles are broken. Baker Mayfield broke them. The Eagles have been broken for a while, though. Do you think Sirianni's on his way out? Would you call this an historic collapse?
I would fire that guy after the game. That guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Dude, if you look up doofus in the dictionary, his picture pops up.
No way. Doofus?
But it's like...
He's kind of cringe.
It's this, though, doofus, because he's Italian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. What's the
so
Italian
it's in like
dictionary?
Italics. Yeah. It's him and then Joseph Stalin.
Yeah, it's... Oh.
Unrelated, but both doofus. Doofy.
Okay. All right. Doofies.
There you go.
Hold on. Why Joseph Stalin? I can't. I tried. I couldn't. Why Joseph Stalin?
Well, you don't think he was a doofus?
I'm not saying he's not a doofus, but we're talking about like italics in the Italian dictionary. I just don't know if I think Stalin's mass murderer would probably be.
Okay, so are they unrelated? Being a doofus and a mass murderer. Can you be a mass murderer and not be a doofus?
Yes.
Can you be a doofus and not a mass murderer?
Yes.
So I think actually what you said is incorrect. If you're a mass murderer, you are a doofus. But just because you're a doofus doesn't mean you have to be a mass murderer.
So I think doofus, I mean, just the sound of it, onomatopoeia, just like it's, it sounds like it's goofy, it's fun, Oh yeah, I don't mind being around that guy. He's kind of a doofus, but whatever. Don't want to be around a guy who's mass murdering people.
Did you know him personally?
Who? Stalin?
Yeah.
No.
Didn't think so. So how do you know?
I took one picture with him and he faded my ass out of it, and I was a little worried, so I left the country. So.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. All right. I'm glad we got to the bottom of the doofus Stalin thing. Nick Sirianni and Joseph Stalin like this, essentially.
That's not what I said. But
that's kind of what you said. They're right next to each other in the dictionary. That's okay. We have the clips. We'll put them out. We'll let the people decide. It'll be fine.
I did say unrelated, but
sure. Yeah, you did. We'll put that in. Make sure that's in there right at the top. The Eagles couldn't stop the blitz, and that's kind of been their thing. We talked about it last week coming into this week, and they just were unable to do it. And the way they decided to kind of counter the blitz was just throw bubble screens all day.
Yeah, I love it. Never, if you can help it, never throw a ball past the line of scrimmage. That's what I say.
Hey, if the completion percentage is high, people, you can't say that you didn't have success on the play.
Exactly.
That's a true offensive coordinator mentality.
Mm-hmm. Got to get mines before I get Scott's.
Mm-hmm. So Jalen Hurts, I think he threw like a 70% completion percentage this year. CJ Stroud only 63. He's throwing the ball downfield. Ass. Jalen Hurts throwing the ball at the line of scrimmage. Great.
Correct. Then you say, well, he just didn't make his guy miss.
He didn't make his guy miss. But that's crazy, though, because the Buccaneers made a lot of guys miss, and they continued to do so all night.
Speaking of that, Trey Palmer, go big Red Husker, Nebraska, woke up pissed off, scored a touchdown.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you see the woke up pissed off tweet? I wasn't hip to that. Now I know.
Oh, we've known about that for a while.
Okay.
We've known about that for a minute.
Was that the Trey Palmer legacy game that we talked about earlier in the season where he was just cooking?
Yeah.
He was baking?
He's had a couple. He's had a couple this year.
I mean, he looked really good. I like the Buccaneers, man. I like the Buccaneers. I don't know how long they can sustain the success in the playoffs, but they looked really good this past weekend.
Yeah, I mean, they'll lose next game, but it was fun.
Well, do you want to get into the next games? Start talking about them? Are you finished with this game? Any other thoughts?
Trey Palmer. Hell yeah.
Trey Palmer. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we have 4 games this week as opposed to 6. Starting off on Saturday, the 2 matchups that we have are the Texans at the Ravens. That'll be at 4:30 on ESPN. And then the second matchup we have is Packers-Niners. That'll be on Fox at 8 p.m. So starting with the Texans-Ravens, we talked about it. CJ Stroud. I swear to God, I didn't even know that the Ravens and Texans played in week 1. When I looked this up and saw that the Ravens won 25-9 and CJ Stroud didn't look that good, I didn't remember this game at all.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, so that makes sense. But with more experience under his belt, it's definitely going to be a different game. And they got to have a different scheme because they now have a whole season's tape on old CJ Stroud. So it's going to be interesting to see how they both sides switch things up and make use of every drive.
That's a good point. I saw Mark Andrews might be back. Do you think that ruins the Ravens offense a little bit?
No.
Because Lamar Jackson, with Mark Andrews, he just forces Mark Andrews the ball all the time. With him out, he's throwing the ball to everybody. And, they're having great success, especially throwing the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to play, but I think he's going to be kind of limited. Like on a snap count, kind of.
If he plays 7 plays, there will be 7 passes at him.
I mean, get your playmakers the ball, baby.
All right, I like that. I don't know. It's going to be cold in the area this weekend. I think it's supposed to snow Friday, so that might play a factor. It probably won't play much of a factor on Saturday. They'll probably clear it off pretty well, but still going to be cold. I think mid-teens. It's going to be tough. I mean, we saw Miami go to Kansas City, Houston going to Baltimore. It's going to be rough weather conditions. That slippery field. I don't know. Do you think weather plays that much of a factor, especially at this point in the playoffs?
I think it does, but not like it's not going to be game breaking like it was in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
And CJ Stroud played at Ohio State, so he's used to that kind of thing. So I don't think it's going to be that crazy. That's
a good point. But it really is just all about the offensive defensive lines. Like they got to get going. I did see a couple things, especially in that weather. It's easier to pass block than it is to run block. Pass rushers don't get that much traction. They start slipping around, so it's easier for quarterbacks. So I don't know, something to look out for.
I think
kind of see. Go ahead.
I think it's going to come down to who has the correct spikes first.
I love that. Yeah, because if you have to switch spikes, you already lost.
Correct.
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of analysis. You want to go with it. When you flip your game plan, then you're fucked.
Mm-hmm. So. Mm-hmm. Or you could just do the Nick Sirianni thing and just keep the same game plan throughout the entire season. Hopefully, it starts working again.
Something's got to change.
It's got to get better, right?
Not us.
I'm trying to think of what other things I could say about this game. I mean, DeMeco Ryans has led his team. It's just the Ravens have been such a good fucking team all season, and especially at home against playoff caliber teams. So it's hard to see them losing this game. It really is.
They did lose to the Browns at home.
True.
They did lose to the Colts at home. Yeah, but that was early on in the season. I think it's just going to be a good game. I don't think this is going to be too far either way.
The
but I think
Ravens are
the
favored
Ravens
9, which
win.
surprised me.
I think that's too high. I think it'll be like a 3-point game, maybe a touchdown. But I think it'll be close, and I think the Ravens take it by 7.
How do you feel about CJ Stroud over 1.5 touchdowns for this game?
I love that.
Okay.
All that boy does is throw touchdowns.
That's true. I did that against the Browns, and like that hit in the first quarter. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great bet. Next game, Packers at the Niners. Packers looking kind of frisky. 49ers are 2-0 against Matt LaFleur and the Packers in the postseason. I don't think they have the defense to beat the Niners. I don't think they have the I think the Niners defense is better than the Cowboys defense.
Way better. That's what I was going to say.
See, this is the one I can see is kind of a blowout. If there's going to be one blowout this weekend, I can see it being here.
One other thing that I love about the Packers is how people are so convinced that Jair Alexander is a dumbass. Like, people are joking on Twitter saying that he has like an IQ of a rat kind of thing, and it's really, really funny to me. They're like, oh, he's super good at football, but man, is he stupid. And I love that.
In what context? Is it just because he's been having fun this past few weeks?
I don't know.
With the media,
I don't know
going
why
up the
they're saying it, but I love it. It's funny.
Because the first time I heard about him, he was suspended for conduct detrimental to the team for going out to the coin toss against the Carolina Panthers and calling the wrong thing. And the coach was like, what the fuck? So he got suspended for a game. And then he came back. He hopped into an interview, I think, outside of Lambeau. Said, I love the Packers, put on his sunglasses and just walked away. So those are the only 2 interactions I've seen of him. I haven't seen people just calling him stupid, but I'm here for it.
It's just funny. I don't know why people are saying it. And I don't think I really want to know, but I think just the whole interaction is pretty funny for me.
Well, did you see that one tweet? It was somebody putting all the Josh wine, the Josh Seller wines in their cart. And the caption was, tonight's about to be a Joshumentary. And somebody quote tweeted that Josh Allen right before he makes a crazy fucking play in the NFL. So it's about to be a Joshumentary.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand that whole side of the internet because there's a lot of it right now, but some of those are pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, there's just jokes flying around everywhere. You can't even keep up with them. They're just flying out 100 at a clip. It's crazy.
Yeah, people are really fucking funny. I love it.
Yeah. People are also annoying, and that's. How does Brock Purdy look in these playoffs?
Good. I mean, if he's able to play, I think they go to the Super Bowl.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, it's either the Lions or the Buccaneers, and I think it could be both of those teams. The only team I was really worried about standing in the Niners' way was the Cowboys, and that was just a dumb fear that I had. So I'm kind of with you. 49ers are the best team in the NFC right now. That's why they got that 1 seed. Yep, give me the Niners and a blowout in this game. I can't see the Packers keeping up or just even showing up the same way they did against Dallas.
I think their front seven is just way better than what Dallas has. So they're not going to be able to run the ball like they did against Dallas. I would be hard-pressed to think that they're going to have wide-open receivers like they did against Dallas as well. So I think it's going to be tough to move the ball for them at a large majority of the game.
That's a good point. All right, Sunday, January 21st, we have the first game is going to be Buccaneers at the Lions. This game will be 3 p.m. on NBC. Second game of that day is going to be the Chiefs at the Bills. I'm excited about. That'll be on CBS at 6:30. Going back to the Lions Buccaneers, though, Lions favored by 6.5 at home. Their second home playoff game in the past 30 years. Come fresh off their first home playoff win. First playoff win, actually, right? In some time. Is that true?
Yeah.
And they're facing the Buccaneers, who they beat back in week 6, 2022-6. And it will be the 2016 number 1 overall pick facing off against the 2018 number 1 overall pick. Jarred Goff versus Baker Mayfield.
Hell yeah.
Who are you rooting for between those two?
Well, the Lions, of course. And
No, between those two guys.
Jarred Goff.
Not bake him.
No.
How do you
I
feel?
like
So
him
wait,
just fine, but
he's got swagger, dude.
sure.
And I think it's so funny that the Browns got bounced, with no quarterback, and Baker Mayfield's just doing his thing, plugging along, just literally dragging his team because they don't have a running game to speak of, and that's the Lions' biggest weakness. That's why I think the Lions are going to win this game pretty handily. Buccaneers don't have a running game. Well, that's good because the Lions can't stop the run, and it's going to be.
They had a pretty good running game against the Eagles.
I didn't see it. That's not how I saw the game. I saw it was just Baker Mayfield making really good, it was the Buccaneers playmakers making plays. I didn't see them they weren't that effective on the ground in my eyes against the Eagles.
It was just a lot of missed tackles on the run game. So instead of 1 or 2, they're getting 4 or 5 a clip because they couldn't tackle anybody.
Yeah, but it's more on the Eagles than it is on the Bucs. That is positive for the Bucs. That's a good. I mean, we'll see. Obviously, they can make a special emphasis. They could change some blocking schemes. They could come out on fire on the run, especially knowing how bad the Lions are. But I mean, the Lions, they feel like a team of destiny at this point. Everything's kind of coming up their way. I don't think their defense is there yet to win a Super Bowl. But I mean, honestly, you get hot, you go on a run. Who knows?
Yeah. I expect to see the Lions in the NFC Championship game.
Okay. I'm kind of right there with you. Another game at Ford Field. Hopefully we get another Eminem lose yourself moment. That was really cool to see. I hope they bring the Stafford kids back out so we can boo them one more time. Really looking forward to that. Other than that, I don't really have too much more to say about this game. Sunday's going to be a good day of football. I'm excited for Sunday.
Yeah, and Saturday I'm going to a comedy show. Unfortunately,
what comedy show?
We're going to see Tom Segura.
Ooh, that's actually fun. That's not bad.
Yeah, Trevor and I went when we were living together. So that was 5 years ago. He's come back to Omaha, so should be a good time.
Are you going with him again?
Yeah.
Nice. That'll be fun. I told you I saw Bert Kreischer last month, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was a really cool time. Well, last game of the weekend, Chiefs at Bills. Bills be favored by 3. For the third time in 3 seasons, these two teams will be meeting in the playoffs.
It's going to be forever.
I don't know how I really want the Bills to win. Obviously, I hope the Chiefs just breaks down. They have to forfeit the game. Are we scared of Patrick Mahomes? It does. So the storyline coming into this game, this is Patrick Mahomes' first road playoff start. I mean, he's been in the playoffs the past 3 years. He's been in 2 Super Bowls. Does this being his first road start even matter at this point?
I think it does.
Why do you say that?
I think it's just everything in the playoffs is different. I think home field advantage is just the same way.
I mean, I get it's Buffalo. They're going to be wild. They're going to be loud as shit, especially, against the Chiefs. They hate the Chiefs. It's just the Super Bowl is going to be the loudest environment he's ever been in, and he's been there twice. You know what I mean? The Super Bowl is just loud. That's what everybody says. It's just loud because there's no rooting interest. Everyone's just loud all the time.
Yeah, but I think there's more, fans from each team are going. Whereas, yeah, you'll have some Chiefs fans get into the game in Buffalo, but it's going to be more dominant toward the Bills. But if you think that the Chiefs wide receivers can't catch it home with no noise, can you imagine their brains being scrambled and trying to catch a ball?
No, and that's a good point. And it's funny if Kadarius Toney just didn't exist, the game would be played in Kansas City this weekend. And shout out Kadarius Toney for that. My dog, respect.
I don't think he's
to keep the Chiefs down.
Been active since, so that's funny.
That is funny. I didn't know that. I didn't realize. Was he inactive this past weekend?
Yeah, he's been inactive for the past 3 weeks.
That's so fucking funny. Thank God they finally figured it out. I keep seeing that combine clip of him running that awesome route. He fucking cooked this defensive back and then just drops a wide open ball. It's just a complete summary of his entire career.
I mean, that was the best move that the Giants ever made.
Getting rid of him,
helping his ass. Yeah,
I'm here for that. 100%.
Him and his fucking nose ring.
I kind of hope I did see this online, and I do think it'd be funny if this game went into overtime, the Bills scored a touchdown first, and because they petitioned to have the overtime rules changed, the Chiefs then go down, score a touchdown, and get a 2-point conversion, and still win the game. I kind of hope. I mean, if that happens, I wouldn't be mad. That'd be a funny scenario.
I would be mad. I want them out of the damn playoffs today.
Me too, dude. I don't want to see them keep winning, but it's just like, I don't know. Patrick Mahomes is inevitable. I don't think they're the same team that they have been the past 3 or 4 years, obviously. And plus, ever since Sean McDermott had to apologize for using 9/11 as a analogy, 6-0. So
also, people falling into the pit, they're 5-0.
Who fell into the pit?
Remember that one fan fell into the new stadium construction site?
They're 5-0 since the pit.
So people just keep jumping in there every week, and they're undefeated since.
I didn't know that. That's hilarious. Oh, dude, so many people are going to set themselves on fire this weekend in Buffalo.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Good thing they have all that snow to put themselves out.
That's true. That is a good thing about all that snow. I mean, that's the weekend slate. I don't really have too much more to add. I'm really excited for the Sunday's games. Honestly, it's the playoffs. The Packers and 49ers might be close, but that's the only game I could really see justify it being a blowout, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think that the 49ers are going to have that game in hand the whole game, but I don't think it's ever going to be like, well, this game's over. Let's turn to something else.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I know it was garbage time, but even I felt the Cowboys were never really out of it until, that last touchdown by the Packers.
I think they were.
Well, moving on. Tyler and I have something we need to discuss and debate really quickly. Brandon,
this fucking logo sucks.
Are you able to put this logo up on the screen for us? So the Broncos are rumored. Who's even doing the rumors? Is it just this one guy on Twitter?
I don't know, but
there's a rumored redesign of the Broncos logo, and to be fair, I'll throw you a bone here. Compared to the two, one is clearly better, and it's the one on the left is the current one. But the one on the right is kind of dope looking. I don't have any problem with it at all. It looks really fucking cool. And it's kind of shaped like an arrow, so they're moving forward, dude. We're moving forward.
Brandon, could you do me a favor and look up the Seattle Dragons logo as well, please?
Please do. That would make my day.
Because it doesn't even look like a fucking horse. Yeah, they say, oh, the things, whatever those are, on the back of its neck are supposed to be
a mountain, dude. It's a mane and a mountain.
We might as well have this as our logo if we're going with
but that's fucking sick, dude. What do you mean?
Dude.
I would love to have a sea dragon as my logo. That's so cool. And not to mention, you guys aren't adding the context of the changes. They explained it. So the D is for Denver, but it's a modern look and some movement. Like I said, the arrow looks like it's moving forward. All right. Designed the mane to depict the mountains in Denver. You know what those mountains are called? The Rocky Mountains. Mixed the famous D logo with the current logo, aka the horse and the D, having the charging Bronco head go through the letter D. So the Bronco's charging, ready for some action. If you're not about that action, Tyler, let me know now so we can get somebody else.
I like the concept of this logo with a classic D look and the Bronco and the mountains and all that. This just feels like a rough draft. This feels like a starting point. And obviously this isn't real. And the logo if they do update the logo, will be much better, I'm sure. But yeah, this is like one of the, when you create an expansion team on Madden and they have those generic ass logos, this is that.
I agree.
I agree with you. Talk about rough drafts. Yeah, this is a little bit of a rough draft. I'm trying to, while you were talking, I was trying to figure out who even posted this. And I don't know. Where did you got this from? This guy, Cameron Parker?
Cameron Parker, yep.
Yeah, I don't know how he got this logo, but Yeah, that's weird. I do agree. I mean, some tweaks might need to be made, but I think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool logo. A little change is nice.
They say to go forward, sometimes you got to go backwards.
See, now, if we did the old school, like Denver D logo, I'm here for that too.
Yeah, give me that.
Yeah.
I like our current logo. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. But I do hate this new one. And I told you I would be looking for a new favorite team if that were the logo.
I hope so. Honestly, there'd be a weight lifted off our shoulders. All of us.
Because it looks like a fucking XFL franchise.
Well, you don't like the XFL? You don't ride with your team? I'm a DC Defenders fucking fan through and through.
Yeah, I guess. This is just ugly. Oh my God, it's gross. I can't stand to look at it any longer.
I mean, on the white helmets, dude, that logo's going to look so fucking cool. You can't tell me any differently. It's going to look so fucking dope. Like, you're thinking, like, dude, hey, tonight's an ice cap game. Oh, what does that mean? Oh, brother, you're in for a treat. And then they come out with the white helmets, the fucking orange jerseys, and then they're just storming the field, running with the Bronco running on their helmet because you could tell the Bronco's moving forward. You know why? Because it's designed that way to give it the impression that it's moving through the D. And you know what we're always doing? Moving through the D.
See, I know that you're just trying to be trendy and think that this is good. It's not. Can you imagine this thing plastered on the midfield? Like, can you just think of that?
They have an elf in Cleveland. What do you mean? It can't be worse than that.
And it's bad. And they got clowned for it. I don't want to be clowned anymore. I'm sick of it.
Brother,
I want to be a real boy franchise.
We are a real boy franchise. You're being dramatic is what you're being.
We're not going to be a real boy franchise until we get Drew Lock back.
Here it is. Welcome back, Drew Lock. When does that happen, do you think? This offseason, next offseason?
He's a free agent. Give him back to me. He deserves to be home.
$45 million over 6 years.
I'll give him $100 million. I don't give a shit. Bring him back. It's not my money.
Tell Russ to give him his contract. Hey, this one's his now.
Yeah.
You lost your privilege.
Listen, if Drew Lock goes and takes him out, then it's his contract.
What if you did do that?
Drew Lock comes in and says, "Hi, I'm Russell Wilson," then that's Russell Wilson's contract.
Okay. I mean, I don't know how that's going to work, but I think it would be cool if you ever signed a starter to a contract and that starter got replaced, they have to swap contracts with the guy who replaced him. I think that'd be funny.
Yeah.
It'd be hilarious.
Then there's all sorts of
Jared Stidham's just making fucking $40 million the last 2 games this season.
Dude, get your bag, brother.
Yeah, I mean, agree to disagree, I guess. I like it. I don't know how much I trust this source, but who knows? The Waltons are trying whatever they can to turn this into their franchise. And that's by making as many mistakes as possible, hiring all the wrong people, and just giving up as much assets and capital as we could possibly have, and just throwing it all away for success and clout now. And it's just clearly not going their way.
They're trying, though.
They are trying. Keep trying.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to talk about, one cool thing I saw, Brandon, you were back on a broadcast this week. That's a really cool thing. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah. So first basketball broadcast I've been on in about 3 years. It's a different sport, and not just because like Dallas and Iowa are different, but like this was like the biggest class in Texas and one of the top teams playing in it. And then I'm used to covering schools in Iowa that are the step above 8-man, like the lowest 11-man football class. And so it's different. It's great to be back like we never left.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What were the teams you were calling?
So it was boys, girls, boys doubleheader between. My God, my short-term memory can't be this bad already. It might be this bad already. I can't think of anything.
I can pull it up.
It's all that Diet Coke you're shoveling in your gullet.
Yeah. Diet Coke.
Who were you? So were you doing color or were you doing play-by-play?
Yeah, so I was doing color and running the production. It was Flower Mound and Louisville. Louisville being one of the top teams in the land.
And how'd you get hooked up with that gig?
So it's so there's a couple of layers to it. So the production is handled by Champion Sports Radio, who's known for doing more football. So I got in on a bunch of football broadcasts this year. And then they also partnered with Dave Campbell's Texas Football to do like a more as like the distributor. So now they do video and they get it out all over the biggest high school sites in Texas sports. And yeah, now they're picking up more basketball. They're going to do more baseball in the summertime as well. So it's a good time to be at CSR.
That's really neat. I'm glad that you were able to do something like that. How much time do you put into your prep?
So it varies. It varies one on the role that I was doing. So color, I don't put in as much effort because I usually just kind of go with the flows of the story. Typically, when you kind of dial into a Louisville basketball game or a Flower Mound basketball game, you know the context of the team. So I'll look into a little bit as far as like standing, district standings and how that's shaping up. And then just kind of let the story of the game unfold. And this one in particular was a bounce back game after a tough loss to the number one team in the state earlier this week. And they housed the other team. It's just great fundamentals, great shooting, real good get right game, as a friend Tyler Sprinkle would put it. If I'm doing play-by-play, probably more like a 2-3 hours. Football is a little bit more because I want to get a good grasp on scheme and what they want to do. And keys that way. But with basketball, it's a lot of fun because it's so fast paced. You don't really have a whole lot of time to fill.
Yeah, and actually, that's a good point about color. Is I know anytime I do color, I always want to do so much research, and I never end up getting to use it because it's usually always the play-by-play guy kicking it to me for analysis on what just happened. And yeah, you can bring up stats, this is why this is happening, or this is why they're going to him in this situation. But it's kind of tough to utilize that research as opposed to when you're doing play-by-play, when you control the conversation and you can kind of just spin the narrative to kind of use these stats to spin the story a little bit. So that's a really good point.
Absolutely. And yeah, and also worth mentioning, these games don't exactly have long pregame shows, which is where you would give a lot of that context as far as these teams, who's a stat leader, who's this and that. So that kind of cuts out some of that prep as well, and more so what's going on right in front of us. That's
a good point. That's awesome. Any plans to any more games in the future you signed up for, or?
Yeah, we got another one Friday. Me and the great Will Connerly will be up in Frisco doing the Colony at Frisco Reedy game.
Hell yeah. All right, tune in. Champion Sports this Friday. That's exciting. I'm happy for you. That's really cool.
It's a great time.
Tyler, Brandon, actually, since you're here, what's one big prediction you have for this weekend? Could be anything. Could be stats wise. Could be player wise. Could be, game score wise. What are you thinking?
Oh man, big prediction. I think we get to continue to see the downfall of the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bills come in humming. They're at home. I do think that is a pretty big deal to go into Buffalo on a January. And yeah, he's played in the cold before and he's played in loud crowds before, but I don't think anybody would describe the Super Bowl as hostile, which I think would be a good adjective for what Buffalo is going to be like this week.
Yeah, they hate the Chiefs. They're going to hate Patrick Mahomes. And Taylor Swift is probably going to be there. Oh, that place might burn to the ground. It's going to be so fun to watch.
I hope they just don't let her in the stadium.
They just keep her outside.
That'd be so funny.
Or they don't give her a suite. It's like, no, you get to sit outside. We actually, here's a shovel. Pay you $20 an hour, some free food. Tyler, what's your one big prediction this weekend?
CJ Stroud throws for 4 touchdowns and they win on the road.
I do like that. I do like that a lot. That's a really good prediction. All right. In that same vein, Baker Mayfield continues it. He keeps it up. They beat the Lions at home. Why not, dude? Bake himfield.
I fucking
Himker mayhem. Bake him mayhem. All of them? One of them's good. You got to give me one of them, right? We're going to go with one of them forever. You got to give me one of them.
Bake him gets a pass. It's like a C+. Everything
I'll
else
take it.
is a fail.
You don't like Mayhem? Mayhem's kind of cool. Brothers, he's him. I'm telling you. He's nice. Give that boy some credit.
Yeah, he's having a good
Swag
season,
surfing on
but he's
10.
not. I mean, it wasn't that long ago where they got manhandled by the Saints. So
that's true. But they won the division and they won a playoff game. So I honestly forgot the Saints even existed. If I'm being completely honest.
Interesting.
Another prediction I have, I think there's more defensive touchdowns in the Chiefs-Bills games than there is offensive touchdowns.
Interesting.
That's it. I don't have any other thing to back that up. There's no stats or analysis. It's just like a prediction that you guys have fun predictions. I wanted to have a fun one, so that's my fun one.
It's a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
Really fun.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Good job.
Jason Kelce retired this week after the game, but Adam Schefter scooped him.
He's not retired.
He's not retired? He's retiring.
No, still thinking about it.
He's retiring. Yeah, well.
He's not officially retired yet, so.
Okay, that's just like, is it kind of the same situation where Tom Brady played an entire season because somebody reported that he was retiring? Schefter reported that he was retiring?
Yeah.
So Jason Kelce's going to play the next 5 years in spite of Schefter? I like that. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I love a good spiting. So, like, if you're going to do something in spite of somebody, I'm always going to be on your side.
There you go, man of the people.
Man of the people. Well, I guess, Tyler, what are you pissed off about this week?
The fucking names that you were trying to make up for Baker Mayfield really pissed me off.
You're the fucking worst, dude. Have some fun one time.
That stupid fucking logo. I'm real pissed off about that.
Yeah. You're just a big buzzkill.
It's hard to be pissed off these days with how great Nebraska football looks.
How do they look? Are they even on the field yet? Sprinkles.
I was on the field chucking 72-yard bombs.
Yeah. Yeah. How far can that fat fuck Deacon Hill throw the ball? Oh, wait, he can't because he has fucking 5 cheeseburgers in his hand.
He does, and he's dropping them everywhere.
He just eats 72 yards because he can't help himself.
72 yards on a rope, Brett. He's on 18. Rope.
I can't wait. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys. It's definitely not going to end in heartbreak like it normally does. You guys are definitely going to win 10 games at some point.
I'm going to send you all the videos of him just chucking the rock around.
Hey, you know what they say? Matt Rule's second year. That's where they take the next step.
Some people are saying that the ball jumps out of his hand.
Well, that's not something you want. It doesn't sound like he has much control over it. It's not a very accurate ball that's jumping out of his hands.
That's another thing that's pissing me off.
What?
That stupid fucking comment.
Brandon, congratulations. You've been named commissioner of the ANFFL Football League. Good for you, buddy.
I also didn't realize is that how it's always worked? Or is that just Tyler not wanting to be commissioner?
No, it's definitely how it's always worked. Yeah.
Okay.
But this is the last year we're doing it, so you're kind of just locked in. Good for you, though. You were the last person.
I mean, I got some stuff cooking.
So can I tell you my idea to save the league? And this is the only reason. If I'm being completely honest, I tried to propose this to Tyler and Luke, and they both said I don't want to do that. And then you got the league because of that. I'm trying to save the league, and I think we can do it in the 3 of the easiest steps I've ever come up with in my entire life. 1. And by saving the league, I mean, so there's 2 people that are trying to leave the league now that have been in it forever, Michael Spate and Seth Banks. Michael's leaving because he doesn't follow football that much anymore. Seth is leaving because Michael's leaving, and Seth is very dramatic. So what is going to happen, what I think we should do is create a group chat immediately. And, with everybody's numbers, whatever, we all have each other's numbers. We can give them to you. We can start a group chat, whatever. And then we congratulate the winner, you. Congratulations. We talk about, your season, how, everything you overcame, never winning a game the first 3 years you were in this league. And then all of a sudden you win the championship. It'd be really big for you. And then we talk about the loser, last place, yours truly. And, you know what? I'll be back in town in a couple of weeks. Let's do a last place punishment. Yeah, Brett will chug 3 glasses of milk or something like that. He'll vomit out of his nose.
3 glasses is nothing. It's nothing. That's the dumbest.
It's got to be a gallon.
Yeah, you got to try to drink a gallon in an hour.
Or straight from
you guys wouldn't put that.
It'll be 3 cups from the cow or 1 gallon from the jug.
3 cups from the cow. Yeah, I want the cow milk. Yeah, I know. Sold.
I can find a cow. It's got to be warm though, straight out of the teat.
Yeah.
And then after that happens, and we start that group chat. We congratulate. Hey, congratulations on another league. We're going to start talking rule changes and everything here in the coming weeks. So think about anything you might want. Blah blah blah. And then I hit Michael up. It's like, hey, dude, I'm gonna miss you, man. It's not really about the league. It's about keeping up with each other. And like, I feel like now that your parents have moved and you've moved, I don't think we'll ever see each other again. I think you should stay in the league, bro. And then he agrees to it. And then Seth agrees to it because, like I said, Seth is dramatic, so he won't do anything unless somebody else does it. And we have a league again. We have all 12 people, and we're ready to go for next season, locked and loaded. What do you think? Thoughts? Concerns?
I think that's a good idea.
Or we can just replace the two fuckers that want to leave.
But Facebook is dead, so a group chat needs to happen.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I'm
That's important to me.
So it's Brett's duty to get all the numbers.
I mean, we already have all the numbers. You have the phone numbers of
like
your friends.
numbers.
I have the phone numbers of my
I just
friends.
got
We can
like 2 weeks ago.
No. What I'm sorry. I was pointing at Tyler. Sorry,
Okay.
I apologize. I was pointing at Tyler has half the numbers. I have half the numbers. We put all those numbers together, and it turns out we'll have all the numbers, and then we start a group chat with that.
Well, we can't get rid of the Facebook quite yet because I have some politicking to do on behalf of my dynasty overhaul proposal.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about a dynasty format?
Whatever.
I'm here for it.
No matter.
It's gonna be tough.
That's what I'm here for. Nitty gritty. I mean, I'm all about spreadsheets.
That's why I don't. If they're wanting to leave right now, that's why I don't want them to be convinced to stay. Because if we start this whole dynasty thing, then it's going to be annoying to get two other people up to speed.
That's a really good point. I didn't realize how. I actually haven't checked the Facebook at all, so I haven't seen it. I didn't realize that we had been discussing dynasty. So I mean, that's a really good point because if they want to leave in a couple of years, then their team's just kind of fucked, or whoever takes over their team's just kind of fucked.
Don't worry, I got a plan for that.
Okay.
I got a bill already
As long as you have a
drafted.
plan.
Now we just got a campaign. Get everybody on
Dude,
board.
every time I talk to Brandon, he just becomes more and more of a fucking psycho.
How many spreadsheets do you have right now?
Well, I got a bunch that don't do anything, but like here's the bill that I drafted up in my notes.
Oh my goodness. Let's go. No, fuck yes.
Yeah.
How do you have time for this?
That's what I was doing all Monday while I was just sitting on the couch. I was like, all right, we got to figure out how to make this.
Dude,
Need some bylaws.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of rules.
Governing board.
A lot of changes.
Rules committee.
So now I got the bill drafted. I'm gonna be hosting some town halls, get some public feedback, start my campaign. I had a Facebook post drafted today, but it cut me off because I had too many characters in it. So I have to go back to the drawing board.
Where you wouldn't have too many characters? A text message chain.
See, but then if I need people to vote on this, then I need the Facebook to be active.
No, you can set polls and group chats.
Does everybody have an iPhone in this group?
Ooh, God, I hope so.
Yeah, I mean that's a bummer if not.
I mean, everybody that I know does.
I mean, if you don't have an iPhone, you don't get a vote. I think that's pretty widely considered. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we got a
That's
lot
what I say anyway.
On this Commissioner Shanahan slate. It's going to be a very fruitful term as commissioner.
I love that. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how it all shakes out.
And I'm just so happy that I went to somebody that's going to be so excited to do it.
Yeah, what was your thoughts when you got that text message?
I mean, I got nervous because it's one thing for me as just like a regular participant to throw out radical ideas, but like I feel like as the commissioner, I don't want to overstep. So now I have to go about this the right way, very politically.
Don't worry, we'll keep you in check, big dog.
All right.
Yeah, dude, you're not. I don't know if you've noticed. We hate everybody, so you're going to get kept in check, whether you like it or not.
That's what I'm here for.
All right, boys. I'm starving. I really don't have anything else to add. Any other notes? Anything we missed? What do you think?
Trey Palmer, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Trey Palmer, hell yeah. Well, thank you everybody so much. That's going to do it for us. As always, please, we drop our podcast every Friday under the Cornhusker Connection banner. Please go and check out all the other great podcasts there. Follow Brandon Shanahan at Shanaman. Follow me at Brett Sprinkle 57. Don't follow Tyler at all. You're just going to get a lot of vitriol and hate on your page. I wouldn't want that for you. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We are on all the platforms. Please go ahead and like, subscribe, leave any comments for us. Let us know you're watching so that we know we're doing a good job. Thank you all so much and have a happy weekend, and we'll see you next week.